Very nice to see so many young devotees. I was a student in a university in Rhode Island called Brown University, and I was studying physical chemistry. I was a science student, and I was on a full scholarship. But I was wondering what was really the purpose of life. I saw that the professors didn't seem like they really believed in what they were teaching. It was their job, they were teaching it. If you ask any kind of existential question, so don't ask all those questions. You're just a science teacher, a math teacher, physics teacher, don't ask anything spiritual or something. So they also didn't seem to really be very much inspired by what they were teaching. One day there was a professor came from Harvard. We were in the same league, and then so they would have some sharing of professors. And I forget what the title of his lecture was, but I went there. And then he was actually talking about more existential things. He told the story about Siddhartha, who became Buddha, and how he went out from his palace and saw a sick person, and an old person, and a dead person, a dead body, and then a baby. That Siddhartha became, shocked that we go through these changes, we take rebirth again. And what's the whole point? It's like an insult and an injury. I want to find out what was the purpose of life. Then he went into meditation. So being an American student, science student, never had been exposed even to the idea of reincarnation. It wasn't in the movies, and now it's in the movies and stuff. In those days it wasn't a public issue in the West. Probably different from any of you who have been, at least in your childhood, exposed. It was a big shock. I was wondering if we go through all these changes, and that's my teachers, and that's when they told don't bother with all this stuff anymore. So then they kept hounding me. There may be some higher purpose to life, and then during the vacation, I went to San Francisco. And I went into a bookstore to buy some book about something to answer my question. I saw all the books were from India. I asked the bookstore owner, why all the books from India, nothing from America? Spiritual thing? India. Well, I got one book. It's an astral projection. Where there's some kind of meditation and you're projected your dream body, your astral body, your psychic body. I bought the book and I was trying it, but I wasn't having too much success. A little bit sometimes I thought I was trying to project out and fly around a little bit. So I thought that, I saw that the author was in San Francisco, so I went to see him. Then I rang on the doorbell, no answer. I heard some noise inside, so I went to the back. There he was cooking up something, big hefty guy. And I said, I read your book, I wanted to ask you a few questions. Okay, come in. He took me in his living room. I want to tell you one thing first. Since I wrote the book, I've been grounded. Not been able to project. Then I thought, I don't think there's much use for me advising you because now I'm grounded. After that I thought, better I check out all these people that write these books. So I got some book on yoga, I was trying to do some yoga, and I checked out, went to his ashram, had a big swimming pool, all the girls were out there in bikini. Go and hug them all, and it doesn't seem so spiritual. Like that, then I tried Buddhism for a while, Tibetan Buddhism, and read the book, but I couldn't find a Tibetan Buddhist guru to check out. And then I thought, this is like trying out things by trial and error. Better I find someone who's a real guru and get someone who's gone through all these things and already come to some realization. I thought maybe that I wouldn't find anybody in San Francisco, so I thought let me go to India. Then I saw an advertisement for the Rath Yatra in San Francisco in 1968. Said they get a vegetarian meal for a 25-cent donation. I was a vegetarian. I thought, okay, at least I'll go and get the vegetarian meal and then check it out, see what the people are like. Those days, ISKCON was in a very basic kind of condition. When everybody was sitting in the kitchens around the pots, serving themselves and eating. I was just sitting there, nobody was serving me, and no one was. And I thought maybe this is like some spiritual thing, survival of the fittest. You just go in the pot. Then I wanted to give the 25 cents, but they were really spiritual. Nobody was willing to take it from me. They don't go somewhere else. Then I went next door to the bookshop and to the boutique. There was somebody called Gagamuni there. He's still around, he's now and sometimes known as Gagamani. I asked him to take my donation. Sure, come on. Then he sold me a set of Bhagavatams. That time a set was 3 books, first canto. And I paid $13. I don't know, was it a good price or but still got one of them, 2 different. So I gotta go now. There's some people in the back to talk to. Thanks so much. Lock the door and lunch. I wasn't getting too much information. My first visit, I was trying to find out about this. I went to the back and then somebody came up to me and he said, we're doing a special project here to save the whole world and need a little help. You know how to hold a nail? Yeah, I know how to hold a nail. My uncle had a little workshop, wooden workshop in the garage. And I held the nail and he started hammering it in. You know about the holding nail, there's it's a very technical thing. As soon as it goes in the wood, you have to move your hand, otherwise you get your fingers smashed. Maybe not high tech, but there's some technique there. Then he said, "Wow, you did so great! You're an expert nail holder." He shook my hand and said, "I'm Jayananda. What's your name?" At that time my name was Jay. Not Bhakti, visitor Jay. And so you know how to hammer too? Yeah, I know. I had a hammer. She says, okay, hold the nail and hammer it. Drew some circles on the wood and I was hammering it. Again, he hit me in the back and hugged me and said, you're great, you're so super. He showed me a picture of the Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. We're going to do a festival like this. How amazing that is. People like, build this car here, this is going to be a car like that. Wow. How long is that going to take? It's going to take a couple of months or maybe a year to build. No, 1 week. This kind of project. Then, so there's we're going to do it in a week and see everyone that pulls the rod, everyone that sees his chariot, these are deities here, these are special we have in the temple, Jagannath, they all get liberated and they go back to the Godhead and need your help. It sounds like a good project. Liberate the world. There I was building the rod with the crew of maybe 8-9 devotees, hammering the wood and sawing and everything. So while we were cutting, then Jayananda would tell us so many pastimes about Prabhupada, how rich the Prabhupada was, how merciful, and so this sounds like a real guru. And I thought I'd like to go eventually to meet him. So where is he? And he said, well, he's in Canada, in Montreal. Lost his visa for America. He's there waiting a new visa. I'll go to India though, maybe. So then I was working with the Rath Yatra. Then one devotee took me over and showed me how to chant japa. I read the book Easy Journey to Other Planets, from antimatter and everything. And it fit my scientific side. And then the devotee gave me a bead, said, let's go out today in the park and just chant. Since I've been doing yoga and everything, I sat in the park and went in the yoga asana and started chanting. And I chanted about 32 rounds. First day. I thought this is the most intense, wonderful meditation I've ever done. I was feeling so much, I don't know what I was feeling, it was like something really super, transcendental. I went back to the temple and the devotee was waiting for me. He said, excuse me, still have those beads? I said, sure. By accident I gave you Prabhupada's chanting beads. I'm not supposed to give those to anyone. Give it back. Next day it wasn't quite the same. So then I was, Kama Krishna Maharaj was there and Vishnu Jan, they all chanting and dancing, doing the kirtan. It was very intense, and maybe a week, 10 days, I don't know exactly. Then I decided if you don't really dive into something, if you don't really try it, how will you ever know if it's right or not? Let me try it out. I'm on vacation, I got time before my classes start. Let me try it, give it an intensive program. And then if it works, okay, then I found it. And if it doesn't work, well, at least I go on and keep looking for find the right thing. I decided that Rath Yatra day to shave up, brahmachari. 10 days. Maybe it takes more time here at Chowpatty. And that was the beginning of this. Somehow they accepted me, I don't know. So Jayananda would shave me up. That's the big secret. Still got it. And the Rath Yatra day, so they were surprised. Oh, there's Bhakti Jain. They're shaved up, pulling the Rath. It was when I told the president and I wanted to go to see Prabhupada after the Rath Yatra. You won't understand it. It has an Indian accent. Very hard for Americans to understand him. So better stay here and do some service in the temple. Then some other devotee said, don't listen to him. He just wants to get you to do some service. You offer him a ticket to go see Prabhupada also, then see what he said. I tried it. Really? A ticket to go? Okay. It became exposed. Then I went to Montreal, and there weren't so many devotees at that time. Maybe there were only 3 temples. There was San Francisco, New York, and Montreal. And so maybe the whole ISKCON had 150, 200 devotees. These are the temples maximum. So a new brahmachari shaved up after class. Prabhupada said, "Who's that?" Gagamani happened to be there, and he noticed Bhakti Jay from San Francisco. Prabhupada said, "Bring him over for lunch tomorrow." I didn't know what I was getting into. Gagamuni was there with Brahmananda, his big brother, and that time I was very skinny and young. I was 19 years old, second year. And so they fed so much prasad, I couldn't eat so much. I didn't have the capacity. But the other two could eat a lot. You get to be a devotee for a while, your appetite increases. I remember there was rice, I think it was curry sauce and pakuras, but I didn't really know the names of things there. But for the picture memory I had, that was the first subject. So the Prabhupada kept saying, give me more, and I was like very robust. Then I had an audience with Prabhupada, Darshan, told him my idea. Maybe go to India. He said, yeah, don't worry, you stay with me, I'll train you up. And I'll send you to India after a couple of years. So that's exactly what happened. I was with Prabhupada. He was very kind to me, gave me I was the assistant to his servant, assistant to the assistant of the servant, secretary, and he could do some personal service. When they went out shopping after lunch, he would take rest. Then I was guru sitting. There were a few devotees, so they had me sit outside his door in case he rang his bell. I know many days he never rang. One day he rang the bell. I went inside, and he had a cockroach. Even in Canada there were cockroaches. He said, help me, open the door, open the window. I opened the window, they told the cockroach, you're confined in this small little room. I'm going to give you now the whole world to enjoy. Threw him out the window. Everything he said was philosophical. At the same time, he had a sense of humor. In those days, then he wanted to dye his cloth, white cloth with saffron. So he gave us, in those days, we used the Gerwa Mati, this rock from the Himalayas somewhere. You grind it up and it becomes saffron. Then you dip your cloth in it and it becomes dyed. It's a very kacha, called kacha dye. You dye it with, it was called paka dye. So this was kacha. So we were in the bathtub rubbing these stones for hours and hours. Prabhupada would come in and it's not thick enough. So we had to go on and on. So we got the right consistency that it was dyed as well. While this was going on, Prabhupada had gone downstairs. The basement for some reason, I don't know. Just never check it out or something, whatever. And the secretary, when he came up, said that a big rat had jumped in front of Prabhupada and said, Hare Ram! Noticing every little thing he was doing, how immediately chant Hare Ram. Immediate response, Rat ran off. They went by McGill University. Prabhupada was walking and in the McGill University library, one Bhakti Vinod Thakur's book was there. Life and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Somebody sent a book to McGill. Later Prabhupada wrote some article about there was one cardiologist in McGill who said that it seems there's something more than meets the eye. Because he did many open heart surgeries, people die, and it's like something leaves them. It's like there's some kind of sparkle in the eye and it's gone. It's something when the blood goes through the heart, it gets energized. So he called it a ticker. The Prabhupada wrote him on all this, how there's a spirit soul in the heart and all these things. It's books. This letter to the doctor from McGill. So I was there like that every day, walking with Prabhupada, with other devotees, and it was a very wonderful experience. Then some devotees stopped by to see, get the blessing of Prabhupada. They're going to go off to London to start the preaching there. Shama Sundar and Guru Das and Mukunda and their wives. They were Grihastas. Prabhupada was sending them to open up a whole country, a whole continent. They went off and actually they met the Beatles and they were able to make a recording, Apple Records. So we still play our Govinda and Hare Krishna temple, Radha Krishna temple. So I met with them and Prabhupada gave our blessings and they went off later. So like this is how things started for me. At that time, ISKCON was, I got ISKCON registered actually. Wasn't registered at first, so one time I'm doing book distribution, went into a college, university hostel. Different students were buying and talked to them, and then went into one room and the guy stood up and he took the book and he started shouting at me, swearing at me, saying this all nonsense. It's very offensive. Yeah, I used to do brand new devotees, so I just turned around and walked out. And I was told that if you hear offensive, just leave the place. So I left. He was shocked because I didn't react. I just turned around and walked out. But he also thought if I had too much commotion in the hospital, I would get thrown out. I'll be able to distribute more books. But that time, we didn't have any books. We only had Back to Godhead. Once they published the Back to Godhead, had a skull in the desert. I don't know exactly, I remember what the article was, why they used that as the cover page. I remember I was in McGill University holding up saying Back to Godhead, people look and see the skull. Fake faces. Back to Godhead? Then that time we're trying to devise how to preach to the students. I think you have better techniques now, but at that time we would 3 to 4 devotees, and one had simply wonderful sweet balls. You go, so open your mouth, put it in. If you gave it in the hand, they might throw it. It's in their mouth, at least they got a taste. The next one would go and give them a magazine. And the third one would go and have a big conch shell and say, s'il vous plaît, contribution, s'il vous plaît. That's French for please give a donation. That's how we maintain the temple also. We had a lot of friends. Then This kind of the beginning was a big struggle, and that time we were renting a bowling alley. No bowling? They have bowling. There's 10 white things, whatever they call them. You throw a ball, it rolls, and you knock all the 10 down. If you knock down, that's how many points you get. So there's this long wooden aisle with 2 gutters. We had an 8-lane bowling alley as our temple. So we put wood in between the gutters with some linoleum over it. So we had this very nice hardwood, beautiful lane, and then we had 2 white strips of linoleum on some ordinary wood. Then 5 lanes were used for the temple and 3 lanes for the ashram. We put a partition. Very simple. So the brahmacharis were all staying in the ashram side. That time Gopal Krishna Maharaj was bhakta with me. We were co-bhakta. He was working as an executive, I think, in Pepsi Cola or some cosmetic company or something. Every morning temple we chant. That time we didn't have many books, so one of the books we had was Life and Story of Lord Chaitanya. There was a big chapter in Haridas Thakur. He was the Acharya of the Holy Name. So we didn't have older devotees. Very few, maybe 1 month, 1 year older. Now you have so many counselors, older devotees, the guide and help. We didn't have not much of a range there. I'm reading this book and it said that Haridas Thakur, when his mind would think of something else, he would chant louder. So being a 19-year-old student, my mind was thinking of so many things other than Hare Krishna. So I would keep on chanting louder and louder. Every time a new thought came in, louder. Another thought, louder. Probably you will never have your mind go off. But my mind would go off sometimes. So go louder. Finally I'd be screaming loud as I could. The mind would stay pretty fixed. Then all the devotees went and complained to Prabhupada that this bhakta is shouting so loud, chanting so loud, we can't think, But that was what I was doing. I wouldn't think of it, just Hare Krishna. The Prabhupada called me and asked why I'm chanting so loud and disturbing the devotees. I said, well, I read in this book, your mind goes off, chant louder, Haridas Thakur, so my mind goes off, so I was chanting louder. We thought, Prabhupada was actually very liberal, he had a good reason. Then he told me you could chant in the park then. So I was exiled to the park. So I wouldn't disturb the other devotees. Surely I'd be banned from this temple if I was chanting. So then, the park that time was the pre-jogger region, time. There was no joggers, only squirrels. And just shouting in the park, walking, feeling very blissful. This is cool, just a cool video clip. But after 2 years, Prabhupada then went off. He got his visa and he left. Before leaving, he gave me initiation, called me Jayapataka Brahmachari. Then he made me the temple president of Montreal. And here I am, 2 weeks initiated temple president. So then I wrote to Prabhupada, maybe I'm too young. He wrote back, he said, don't be body conscious. Follow the order of the Guru. there I was. But there I was back to Jay, now I'm Jayapataka, but even though the other devotees weren't much older, but from their point of view, they were very much older. So if I told anyone, do this, do that, they look at me like, who are you, So I had to learn techniques, how to convince people to do something without offending their false ego. And and I was the president, I was the treasurer, and a cook and a pujari. Because the previous president had taken all the devotees to open a new temple in Vancouver. And I had only 4 devotees in the temple and one 16-year-old student who came from his high school course in the afternoon and took the shot. So we didn't also have, we had $200 in the bank, about, now that would be 8,000 rupees, but not too much. Then we went out to the wholesale fruit market and vegetable market. And there was a different Greek and different kinds of people selling the boxes of bananas and apples. We go and say we're monks or religious people, and we're giving out food and we made some donations. So they give us a old box, too old to sell wholesale. We give some banana. They fixed up, filled up a whole little pickup truck. So many kinds of fruit. So I didn't know how to cook many things. So only halva and chutney and few sabjis. So maybe 6-8 kinds of fruit chutneys. And maybe half a dozen, maybe also like 5-6 kinds of halva. Halva with apples, halva with peaches, halva. But somehow we got 20 preparations. So the Indian students and some of the workers are mainly from India, but you get 200 people to come for the Sunday feast. And give a $2 donation and get a 22 preparation feast. In the morning I'd be cooking, then Prabhupada told us how to add a church. You put the ghee and the spices and then you lift up the dal and it would explode and everyone would come to and I'd have somebody make the plate up and I run and take a quick shower, but I was also the pujari. Then I'd take the plate and walk down the bowling alley lane to the Jagannath deity that was there. After cooking, then get up Mangalarti, chant some quick rounds, cook the whole feast, and then go and do the arti. I was so blissful. When walking down with this plate, it was a humble offering. I hope you accepted. But I really felt very blissful. So in the beginning, it was really just had to start things in a very simple way. And then Prabhupada said he wanted to open many new temples. So then I thought, after I had built up the temple there to maybe 20-30 devotees, then I'll take 3 devotees to go and open Toronto, which is a bigger city. And like that, then Prabhupada had Gautamuni phone me up and say he wants to send me to India, what he had said earlier. So then he called me to see him in Los Angeles, went to see him, gave me a few tips. I really didn't know what would India be like. What do I do if I see a sannyasi in India? So bow down. So like that, I got sent to India. I got a really cheap fare, $111 from Belgium to Bombay by Brothers Airlines. There were 3 brothers, Yusuf, Ali, and Ahmed. They had bought a used Second World War plane. That's why it was so cheap. The plane had no decoration and no air pressure. Every time they went up, your ears would go, you get a headache and your ears would go. They would only fly a few hours, have to land, reload and go on. So I flew to first stopped in Rome, then Cairo, then Yemen, then Karachi, then Bombay. When I arrived, my head was... I thought I had a few contacts in Bombay. I called up, nobody answered the phone. Sometimes the phone didn't work, cross line, different things. It was in 1917. So then somebody came up, the eye was like hanging out and some disease beggar. It was the open terminal that time. And said, bakshish, I don't know what they're talking about. So I thought this is a very strange place. Let me go to Calcutta where Achyutananda was waiting. Someone sold me a ticket for $15 to Calcutta. At that time it was 7.5 rupees per dollar. Gasoline was 60 paisa for petrol. So then I got to Calcutta and asked the taxi to take me to this temple where Achyutananda was staying. I got there and he charged me 6 rupees. And they said, oh, you're paying 3 times the amount. We went on, must have taken you on a real ride to get the video that way. Like that, and here I was in India with when Prabhupada came to India. First I learned Bengali script because I was in Calcutta. The most difficult thing was really to write English Indian script. Glass house. Oh. You know how they write it? Not all the same things, but gradually I learned Bengali from going out and shopping in the morning. Prabhupada came. Chudananda was here for a few years, so he knew the ropes. It was just totally new. Prabhupada wanted to establish a mission in India. So he was registered in Bombay in 1971. We had branches in Calcutta, Mayapur, Delhi. I was really glad that I met Prabhupada in Canada or in the West. I would have come to India looking for a guru, who knows what I would have found. Very hard to find a bona fide person. So you're really fortunate, you have very systematic, one time Prabhupada, someone said to Prabhupada, what about the good old days? Prabhupada said, what good old days? These are the good old days. Those are really rough days. When I got sent to Mayapur, we didn't have a car, we had a bicycle. Remember I went to buy some wood and nails and things, whatever is hardware. So I rode 45 minutes to Mayapur on the bicycle. I got on and I was really happy. The whole way I was chanting Hare Krishna. Although father and grandfather were millionaires, but I was very happy being a simple brahmachari. And at that time there was a sannyasi, the probably the sannyasi in Calcutta. When I drove by bicycle, I was chanting, I was very happy, came in with a smile, got off on this big hardware, set. He looked at me, so why are you happy? You have nothing. Bicycle. I have my hardware store. I got a 3-story house. I have wife, money, big position here in the market. I'm not happy. Why are you happy? Unfortunately, people don't know how big a house you have, how big a car you have, doesn't make you happy. If you're Krishna conscious, you're happy. If you have an understanding what is the real meaning of life, sense gratification may make you happy, sometimes they make you sad. You smash up your new car, you're sad. I was happy because of Prabhupada's mercy, having some devotional service. I'll be happy if you do devotional service. We were living in a grass hut actually in Mayapur. We had a grass hut, still there, same hut. Prabhupada came out to visit us. And he said, actually, this grass hut is all you need to be Krishna conscious. On the side of the Ganges, grass hut, chant your rounds. This is sattvic, moral goodness. But if we only have this facility, who will come here? Now people, modern people, they want things more in a mode of passion. That's why we're building this guest house with stone chips and iron and cement and bricks and steel and so on. It's in the mode of passion. So we can get people to come and be comfortable here. So Prabhupada gave us a vision to build a spiritual city. 50,000 people living in grass hut, 5 of us, whatever. I was talking about a city, but already Mayapur is developing. We have over 1,000 some devotees. Still far away from a city, but at least something developing. Getting a lot of input and help, guidance from Swami, one of Mayapur's devotees. That's why we're meeting here. Everything happened very fast with me. I was sent to India, and we were there for a few months, and we were waiting for Prabhupada that he would come. And then we heard that Prabhupada gave 9 people sannyas in Los Angeles. That's right, take sannyas, we should take sannyas. I really have so much of an idea what sannyas was. For a young brahmachari, it sounds very inspiring. Prabhupada came and we were staying in a temporary place that was given to us for 6 months. It was going to be a clinic, medical clinic, but it was just empty at this point. So the owner said we could just stay there. No lease, no rent, because in Calcutta, lease and you can't get it all. So you stay there as our guest. We were there, and Prabhupada was, there were some issues in Islam at that time. I won't go into all the details, but he talked to Achyutananda first, who is my elder, and then, thought maybe giving him sannyas. We didn't really have an idea what was the procedure. Then he didn't get sannyas then. He called me and talked to me. I didn't get it either. Just wanted to find out a few things. Then later Prabhupada called us in and said that I gave 9 people sannyas. There was actually 11 on my list. The new 2 are the other 2. And he asked Chutananda, you want to take sannyasa? He said, yes. And he asked me. I already decided to remain a brahmachari, so, okay. Of course, I was very fortunate. I was in India, in a village in Mayapur. That time, of course, I took in Calcutta. So he gave us Radhastami. Then he gave the Chanda first to Achyutananda, so you're Achyutananda Swami. And giving you first, that means you're the senior sannyasi. So I was put in my place. Then he gave me the danda and said, "You're Jayapataka." This time I was 21. Now it's much harder to get sannyasis. You have to be older, you have to be on a long waiting list and go through the training. Somehow Prabhupada was in a very fast mode. In Calcutta I was there for a while as president, and I was sent to Mayapur, the grass hut. We only had a very narrow, small budget, 35 rupees a week. So I asked permission if we could grow our own food. And then Tama Krishna was money, or the only things I suggested he didn't agree with, but we're used to them. He said, "What? They're Westerners, how they can grow the thing?" I said, "Give us a chance, we can try and, 5 acres." So then I was looking. Then we were growing like bindi and tomato, all kinds of things. So I got this Indian Council of Agricultural Research, they have a magazine in Delhi. And so I was like a science to chemistry. So okay, NPH, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, cow dung has this much, and chicken droppings are this much. So figure out how to do that thing. It's more for me, it's like a science lab. And the local workers, but we didn't work through, they were not really active. On a little plot, maybe a little bigger than this room, of tomatoes, I got 5 tons. You'd be surprised how much Mother Earth gives. Then somebody gave me a seed for wind beans from Australia. And there's so many wind beans. But nobody knows how to cook it or anything. So then, the devotees have to when you cook, when you grow your own, you get so much, you get like quintals and quintals. So that's what we would eat every day. We grow radishes, and we got so many, like, couple tons of radishes. Lord, please, no more radishes. Every day, radish. That's the downside. That's your right anything. It was inspiring to be in Mayapur, and Prabhupada gave us assignment to build the first building and a lotus building. Remember when I was a student, I was thinking that I'd like to be able to work and do something that was a challenge. It was inspiring. But everybody was looking around, thinking like, what I'll take up, and all the professors, and nobody looked inspired by what they were doing. It's like, but then Krishna Kanda was so much, every day was such a challenge to do different things. So there was on a farm in Mayapur where we were preaching in the city. So much of a challenge, and so much inspiring. I remember once I was in Canada, a television show asked us, he said, we'll pay you $45 each. We want you to act as an actor on a television show. You have to act, your role is to be a Hare Krishna. That sounds pretty easy, and that's what I was. So. And there was this daytime show. They called it the People's Court or something like that. Here we have our Lok Adalat, but this was more just simple issues. So they had a real actor who was acting as my father. And I, who was supposed to act like his son, but who was a devotee. So he wanted to take away my bicycle or motorcycle because he said that he's going to use it in the church. I gave it and used it for himself. So I went back. This was the basic issue. There was a doctor, a lawyer, a psychologist, like people are senior, like established citizens. Maybe they're all active, but they said that they were really not. They had to like mediate between us, judge. So then they knew that I was really, otherwise everyone else was active. And so the father made his case. And I made my case. He gave it to me. He used it. Now I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing for the welfare of people. If I want to use my motorcycle for this purpose, why should he take it back? He gave it to me. I can use it for whatever that I like to do. And some simple things. Try to fit in as much teaching as I could. And they said, okay, great. Chowpatty on the soap advertising commercials. And the three of them were there. They're looking at me. No, he really believes in what he's doing. One of the other panel of judges says, wouldn't that be amazing to actually believe in what you do? The third one said, it's inconceivable. I can't conceive of actually believing what you do. I'm still, I'm 20-year-old. Here they are, all these big doctors, and nobody believes in what they're doing. I open them. Okay, all these people, they're doing it because you're getting paid to do it, most of them. Maybe a few of them really like doing what they're doing, but most of them don't even believe in what they're doing, just people liking it. These two experiences. So we have Krishna consciousness of days, whether you're working or whether sure you'll find life a lot more exciting and satisfying. Otherwise, life is pretty dry. Sukha dukkha da, you get dumped up and down, happy with something, nothing. One thing I'm very concerned about, one of the biggest causes of death of like 18-year-olds to 25-year-olds in India is suicide. Because they don't know what the purpose of life is, the girlfriend drops them, or they fail their exam and the parents are really angry with them. Somehow life for them has no more meaning and they commit suicide. A valuable life. If you do so much, they go back to Godhead and help people. So many things. I was thinking somehow, because sometimes it's not right. Suicide. What we can do, or how we can. Also, like when you're in Krishna consciousness, we don't die. You commit suicide, you just lose your gross body and you're there in that astral body. You're there as a ghost. And then, flying around and looking at your friends or something, I don't want to go to I don't want somebody to take over their body. It's not a positive alternative. So many, even I read in Australia, 11,000 students a year commit suicide. I don't have the number for India, but I'm sure it's much more for our population. So many people are frustrated. They don't know the purpose of life. Even just by they know a little bit about Krishna, like in the Bhagavad Gita it says, Swapam Abhyasya Dharmasya Mahato Chaito Bhoyat. Know a little bit, they do a little bit of Krishna. If you just offer one Damodar lamp, you'll be saved from so many troubles in your life. It's actually one of the Mahatmyas of Damodar, whoever offers a lamp to Damodar, he's saved from troubles. For as long as Indra is in his post. It's a long time.
Can you speak about the person who attacked you?
Can I speak about?
The person who attacked you with a blade. Someone gave a blade and attacked you, tried to stab you.
want to hear about that?
person who attacked the public.
Great acting and activity mind. Who wants to hear about that? I visited the temple in Madrid. And actually, outside of Madrid, there's a farm called Barcelona, in the district of Guadalajara in Spain. They had a big festival, and many sannyasis and many devotees and beautiful deities. So one guy kept asking me, I want to ride to Barcelona. I said, no, I already have my plane ticket. Apparently, he was asking many people, many sannyasis. And he was praying, so terribly crazy. And he had as his idea that he wanted to kill a Hindu guru, Hare Krishna guru, Sanatana, or whatever his concept was. Because whatever reason he had in his mind, he wanted to drive somebody on the way, murder them, and throw them off the road. So, if you don't know that, you just heard this guy smiling and driving. Tell me, I was in the airport checking in at the counter. I look, and the lady in front of me, she makes like a horrible, like a frightening face. This guy ran behind me and took a knife and slit my throat. And he ran off. And so I was, you get your throat cut. I was exceedingly bleeding, and I thought that I took off my chadar and wrapped it around my neck and sat down. Didn't know where to go, what to do, so I just sat down, and the whole life like went before me. I thought I'm going to die now. Started making my prayers to Krishna. And then medical people came and took me to a first aid room, bandaged up my neck, took me off my ambulance. Now whenever I see an ambulance, I feel different. Because when you're in the ambulance and the sirens are going, people don't move. It's not like everybody just pulls over with the ambulance by, it takes a while. So I'm sitting there breathing and going in this ambulance, people move aside eventually and going on. When I got to the hospital, I couldn't talk because my neck was cut. They asked me what my blood type was. You know your blood type? I didn't know it. It's good to know your blood type. It saves about 10 minutes. Which may be life and death. Later I found out my blood type is to be positive. So I try to live my blood type. And they told me to lie down. I was sitting up all this time. And I lay down and literally I was like drowning in my own bleeding. I passed out, they had given me some anesthesia. 3 days later, after intensive care, I woke up and I was still here. By Krishna's mercy. So the doctor said that I missed my carotid artery by 1 millimeter. And if you cut the carotid artery, even in the hospital, they can't stop the bleeding. Cut the jugular vein. And I was there in the hospital listening to Prabhupada tapes. And I said I had a vegetarian diet. That time I had a structure, it's like hole they put in your throat. And they were feeding me through the nose into the stomach by tubes and injection of big jet. Then they injected this into the tube, and a chicken bone got stuck in the tube. So these people are cheating me. I told them I'm vegetarian, and they gave me I can't taste anything. It's going right by where I'm getting gas, like non-veg gas. Then we had some devotees who came to help me and they took a hotel room near the hotel, and they were cooking there, and they smuggled. There's no outside food, but they smuggled it into the hospital. Then they served me whatever they're going to feed me. Then the person go out. When the devotee come quick, take the pot, wash it off in the toilet, transfer, put my food in it, close it. Sometimes they had to do it in two parts. One time they put in spinach, but actually the hospital also served me spinach. I like two spinach. The fellow got caught now. And Krishna Maharaj and Shiva Maharaj came to see me, brought quarantine deities in the hospital. I had a darshan to worship them. And I didn't have a Brahmin thread because my poita, my Upanayan thread had been cut, taken off or whatever. I didn't have it. Then I asked Krishna Maharaj to chant on one, give me, so I have installed. See, when you get a second initiation, the Guru chants on your thread, touching it to his thread, so there's a connection from all the Gurus before. I had no threads, I need a new one. I wanted a connected one. So he chanted and gave me. Like this, it was the devotees would come to see me, and I couldn't talk. I had to write because my throat was. I was in there 12 days. You can imagine, with all this, I wanted to get out as quickly. And so they said that normally somebody that would have serious and injured be there for a few months. But they let me out, they wanted to get rid of me. In 12 days I was. Later they found they arrested the person, but they found that he was mentally unstable and put him in a mental hospital. And then he was there for a few years and he's been let out. Someone told me that he committed suicide. I don't know. When I go there, they have extra security for me. But something like that happens, you really think what you want to do with it. Whatever Krishna gave me back from life, I really want to do something for Krishna while I was here on the planet. Then he revealed that he was trying for a long time to kill a religious leader. But then he failed, so that was the last chance for him. You gotta be careful. Later they found out he was really acting crazy in the temple. During Janmashtami, he came in with 6 knives, razor sharp, put them in a tulsi plant, and offered knife arti. Be a little selective about who you let in the temple. After someone offers a knife to the deity, you might have thought that maybe he's not normal. You take it Yes, wake up. Last question.
What is the need of Islam today? What can devotees contribute in the best way possible?
What's the need of ISKCON today and tomorrow? Today and tomorrow. So the people, this is not a today and tomorrow issue because even 5,000 years ago when Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, they have birth, death, old age, and disease. People are still suffering the same problems, and they need some spiritual guidance. They need some spiritual direction. They need to be saved from these 4 basic problems of life. It's not like now we're in the 21st century. We don't get old anymore. You don't get sick anymore. You don't die anymore. You don't get reborn anymore. That's happening today. This can happen tomorrow. And of course, I remember I was just watching when I flew here one documentary, some news thing, and one doctor said, "Well, now we have the financial crash. People losing their homes, but they can't pay their mortgage, so on. But even tomorrow, there'll still be some homes around. But we also have the environmental problems that we're destroying the environment. But if you don't solve that, no turning back." They say that, I read also somewhere recently that the biggest cause of environmental pollution is slaughterhouses. Very simple thing, even that we're vegetarian, that we promote a more simple spiritual way of life. It's very hard to maintain a sattvic life if you're not spiritually oriented. But even if we could reduce the slaughterhouses, that would be a big aid for the environment. There are many, whether you want materially, spiritually, different kinds of aspects that ISKCON is helping with. Ultimately, the Prabhupada said eventually there will be a financial crash, and it will be good to have self-sufficient farms and communities to show people that how they could survive. When there was a problem of in the Cold War, there was one devotee offering special tours to India on survival for $5,000 a trip for each person. So he asked me, he wants to bring them to Mayapur, and they need a demonstration how to pass stool in the field. Because they're only used to toilet, so they don't know how to pass stool, but in India you can get some guidance. And how to plow their fields with the bulls and things. What if there's no more mobile or petrol or anything? How they eat, they don't know. They're like they're standing, if the grocery store doesn't open, if you can't buy everything in a plastic bag, they'll just stand and die. And then they're so far away from survival that if there really is a collapse of the economy, maybe even here in Bombay, there are many people don't know how to survive also. But in America, it's a real problem. They don't go to the grocery store, they don't know anything. I mean, they don't even know, like, some people just eat from this TV dinner, it's like pre-cooked and frozen. They actually just get raw rice or wheat and make it into food. That's like too high tech for them. Too low tech. They don't know how to do. So Prabhupada, and that's just an example how critical, when people want to pay so much money, and take them out in the bushes and show them how to pass through for $5,000. That's 2 lakhs of rupees. It's a true story. And that, those days, when I was work more. Here also you have, like in Karnataka, along that's a farm, and here you have a farm. Maybe India and Asian places won't be so much hit, but be a big shock if people cannot, the normal routine that they're used to. Any break in that, they really don't know how to survive. So probably we should also be prepared to shelter people. We haven't really succeeded in having so many self-sufficient farms, but that was just for reference. Prabhupada had all these ideas that we can't 100% depend on the material infrastructure that's going on. Not that we're paranoid, not that we're here, we're using it. Krishna's service. But there's so many ways that this can help the people. Know what is the main thing. If you don't know who you are, what's the purpose of life, what is the direction you should take. The whole world is really chaotic and crazy thing. So if you know how you fit in, how everything fits in, you can be much more peaceful. Even for simple things like getting rid of stress. Do you also have stress nowadays? Psychologists and psychiatrists in the West, the studies that meditation is the best way to release stress. The best meditation is mantra meditation. That's what we're teaching, is how to do mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Of course, the most important thing is your love for Godhead, your love for Krishna, the highest happiness, the highest perfection. And this kind of teaching Lord Chaitanya's message, how to develop love for Krishna. I think that's useful today. It'll still be useful tomorrow. Anybody here wants love for Krishna? This is the fast track. To learn how to do things in a way that's pleasing to Krishna.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.